Good, man. How you doing, Shane?
Facebook. Guys, it is so good to see everybody. This is episode 21, behind the Toolbelt, TC Backer Construction. We're excited to have everybody here. We got Victor Yuri from Victory Security Solutions. It is good to see everybody. Real quick, a little housekeeping. If everybody could please put their town and their zip code, it's really nice to connect. But more than that, if you could please hit the share button at the bottom left. It's an amazing and helpful way. This wouldn't be here. These businesses wouldn't exist if it wasn't for your help. And what now time to pick up the American flag and to share American businesses in your neighborhood, in your community that are working hard and helping their community. So we appreciate everyone that shares this to their page. The modern day phone book is social commerce, and this is people like to watch Facebook Lives, and you get to meet the people behind the company. And so we're going to have a real honor, talking about security and how important security is. Victor just actually thanked you from TC Backer's recommendation. People talk about having the, people you can count on. And so Victor just put a security system in our house. So we're really grateful and just an amazing thing. So we're excited. But after you share it to your page, if you could just start a watch party, that would be great. And then usually,
yeah,
it does.
How's everybody? You guys put out some great videos today.
Yeah,
Fun. It was definitely fun.
Oh wow, you look better. Yep, everyone looks good. Everyone sounds good. It's a great day.
Yeah.
Man, you guys do a great job on roofing. I tell you, the education you put out with these last couple videos are amazing.
yeah, man. Yeah, it's important. It's important for people to understand that we're not just out there to collect a check, man. We stand behind our work, and in order to stand behind our work, there's education that's involved. You got to be consistent. That's the biggest thing, man. I'm just trying to stay consistent, trying to be out there answering any kind of questions. There shouldn't be any kind of gray areas, man. When you're making a big investment such as a house, any kind of maintenance that you do on that thing, man, there should be no gray areas. Everything should be transparent. So we're going to try to do a little bit more videos out in the field to give everyone a taste of what everyday life is like. Because we can sit here and preach it all day, but it's tough. It's tough sometimes for people to understand exactly what we're talking about without the visual. I'm a visual learner myself. I don't know about you guys, but I have to see something to really understand. So I think having the videos out there, man, you did a great job with that tear off today, man.
Thank you.
Super clutch. And it's really cool that that the customer themselves is able to hop in that video and see what's going on, without having to get up on the roof. Not everyone can climb up, everyone can walk around on the steep pitches. So it's great, man. Great stuff. We got a lot of great stuff going on. I was just telling these guys before this video started. The energy, man, my energy today was amazing. Our guys are doing a great field. We got a lot of strong people backing us. The support system's great. So yeah, man, my energy's at 100 right now.
Good.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh no.
It was great to see all that. I mean, for a consumer, I'm the most man, I don't do anything in my house. My wife puts everything together. I don't just say that. It's actually true. So, to have you guys, all of you do work on our home. So, and it's nice to feel trusted. I think that's what homeowners love, is when you see people do videos. That means, hey, Tanya, I'm going to say hi to Kimberly. Thanks for sharing. But you just feel like, your home is your biggest investment typically,
Mm-hmm.
And, that protects your family. So when you see people that are willing to go out there and do it on video and show what they're doing, hey, that's it, man. That's as real as it gets, man. This isn't live A&E fake police show. This is you putting your phone out there and showing people what it looks like, and people respect that. That's what this country was built on, was that kind of hard work, and it's not easy. So thank you. You guys, thank you to the consumers, and people should appreciate a company like this because you set the standard and you changed a whole nother level.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, man. So I got to kick this off here. So we have we have Victor with Victory Security Solutions here. He's a very good friend of Todd's. He's been a friend of Todd's. He's a new friend of mine. Does great work. Does all of our security stuff, our video monitoring, and any kind of like techie questions that we got. Man, he's a great mind to bounce things off of because he knows his stuff. He's got a lot of experience. People out there that are into the techie stuff and the smart home stuff and all that kind of stuff. Today's going to be a great video. It's very informative. I know I've been excited all week about this for sure. So Victor, I'm gonna give the platform here to you. I guess tell everyone who you are in your own words. What you're about, what your company is, and all that.
Well, our company is we're basically on the idea that we just want to be able to give people what they can afford for security. We really believe security is important. We try our best to get it to everybody that is in need of it. I've been in this now going on 33 years. Actually, the company, we're about 2 months away from our first year anniversary, which is pretty amazing to me considering what we've been going through lately. It's about a year ago, I decided that I had enough work with other people, with 4 other companies. And it's just been eating at me, and it's just burning in my heart that I need to do something for me and my family. I had ideas that I wanted to put across and get out to people that necessarily the owners I work for didn't agree with, which is cool. Basically, someone told me at one point, if there's ideas that you want to get across, do your own thing. And that's what I decided to do. And I'll tell you, Todd, you've been amazing through this, man. You have been like my number one support. You've been a champion for this company, and I can't thank you enough, man. From the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you enough, bro. It's been a challenge, but it's been fun. Installing a system in Shane's house, that was a blast, man. We get him something I know he was looking forward to see a smile on his face, for his wife to say, this is much better than what we had. That's all I look for, man. Just to make people happy, And it's going really, really well so far.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, man. And I know that we've bounced a lot of things off each other, through this whole pandemic. And you've hung in there like a champ too, man. You didn't give up. You didn't quit. You didn't pack your bags and stay home. You know what I mean? You went out there. You had some jobs in some pretty sketchy places. I know you went out and you did what you had to do to protect yourself and your health. But, I didn't hear you complain about it one time. I know you really enjoy what you do, and you enjoy educating people, as far as your help goes and the customer. Your customer service is by far best. Anytime we've ever needed anything, you were Johnny on the spot. I know anybody that I've ever referred you to, you've been Johnny on the spot. You're one of the guys that have it. You know what I mean? There's other people that just don't have it, but you're one that has it. And I just want you to know that, man. That I'm proud of you. If anyone hasn't told you, you're kicking ass and taking names, and I'm very proud of you, man. And I sincerely mean that. You inspire me in our conversations that we have 2 to 3 to sometimes 5 times a day. And you say things to me that inspire me. I'm sure I say things to you that inspire you. And by me saying those inspiring things to you, that means after we get off the phone, I have to go and do that myself. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm preaching. So it's definitely been a benefit, having you in my life on so many different levels. And I want you to know that I appreciate it and that I love you, man. That you're a good dude.
Thank you, bro. I feel the same way about you, man. You're like a mentor to me, man. I've learned early, maybe about 15 years into this, that you gotta emulate the people that are actually doing what they say they're going to do, and follow the winners, man. I've learned a lot of what to do, and I've learned a lot of what not to do. And, you know, ever since I've gotten out on my own and you've gotten involved, in my life, dude, it's just been, you know, I have no more words to say about it, man. I really don't. It's just been amazing, man. I'm so grateful, you know, just for the opportunity, you know.
Yeah.
I have no more words to say about it, honestly. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and honestly, man, all that stuff that you guys have been preaching, it's evident. I mean, you know, you've been at every one of our shows. You watch every one of our shows live. You know, you basically went on tour with us in all of our home shows and stuff. You know, you made appearances, you and the wife, which I hope you're doing okay, by the way. I seen she was in the hospital recently, so I hope that's all doing good for you guys. Man, not a good time that people want to be in the hospital. So, but I mean, all that stuff's evident, man. Talk is cheap, you know. Anyone can talk a big game, but you know the actions and the things that you do to back that up is what's important. And you stand behind that, bro. So the very short amount of time that I mean, you're definitely a genuine person, and you're definitely an asset to TC Backer, myself, and Ty, and you know we appreciate you. So so how with that said, man, what this is the golden question that we kind of start off with, man. What motivates you, Victor? Like what gets you going and makes you want to help people, makes you want to put those systems in everyone's house? I mean, I know you said that, you know, you like helping people, but like what motivates you? Have you always been that way, or is there something that just sticks out that motivates you every day?
I think that the main thing that motivates me is when I get up in the morning, I feel like I have a responsibility that I need to make the day worth something. You know, it's my responsibility to do the best I can for that day. You know, whether it's helping, however I can help somebody, I try to find, even if it's a small thing to do, it's just to help. You know, even if it's on a service call, it's something, you know, I get on the call and it's not what the customer comes to me with another problem that I'm not there for. You know, I work for another company, a national company, by the way. It's WSS Integrated Technologies. Dude, I gotta give them a shout out, because without them next to Ty, I wouldn't be where I am right now, man. They gave me the start. They gave me the work. They trust me, which is amazing in itself. But you know, you run into situations, especially with fire alarms, man. I take fire alarms extremely serious. It's life safety. Sometimes I can go on a call, be there to fix one thing, something else is going wrong that I didn't know about. Technically, I'm supposed to call about it. I'm probably going to get myself in trouble if anybody from WSS is watching this right now. But I take the time to work with the customer, man. And I've seen in this business that I'm in for a long, long time, there's a majority of people want to get in, want to get out, want to make the money, and that's the end of it. You know, I just somewhere along the line decided that I've got to make what I do for a living worthwhile and do the best I can just to give back any way that I can. You know, I do this mainly for my family. You know, it's a great way to support my family. My family's involved. My wife does all the paperwork in this office. I drive her nuts in this office, man, because I kind of get in her way sometimes. I get involved in invoicing and stuff I got no business being involved in. And, you know, my goal is to actually keep the family oriented. You know, I have 5 kids, 5 grandkids. You know, who knows? Sky's the limit, man. But as far as what motivates me is just wanting to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Period. Just wanting to do the right thing.
That's a good trait to have in a company. There's you know, like you said, a lot of people out there, you know, they just want to get in, get the job done, get their check, and get out. You know, whatever happens, happens. You know, you obviously stand behind your product and you care about the product that you're putting in. You know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but all the stuff that you offer, you know, it differentiates customer on what their services may be or what they may need. You know, you can't just say, oh, this is the package that I offer and that's it. You know, I'm sure you have to go in and talk to your customers and figure out exactly what they need. So that's awesome. That's a good trait to have in business.
Yeah, and I tell you, you know, firsthand from this business alone, there's 100 different cameras to install. There's, everybody's putting stuff out to be put in. There's a lot of DIY stuff going on, which I don't knock at all. Hey, if you can handle putting it in, by all means, go for it, But that's good for me because with all those different products at my fingertips, I can customize a system to whatever that person needs. And you're right, every customer is different.
Yeah.
Somebody like Shane may want 5 cameras installed or 4 cameras, whatever the case may be. Somebody may only want 2. They may not want any. They may just want an alarm system, So being an integrator of that stuff, it's important for me to be able to keep up with what's out there. I got some pretty good distributors behind me. I have people I can call to count on, if I have questions. I think you and I were talking before we actually went live. In this responsibility to keep up with what's coming up and what I can use for my customers. So
let them know.
Absolutely.
I watch a lot of different shows, right? Like late at night, these crime shows. I'm just gonna tell you. And we had a good security system, but he has HD. Like these super wide angle. Like our camera showed one room. Now it shows everything. Like our cameras now, if you come on them, just an FYI, like we got you from my neighbors. I'm just telling you, like we have a block radius and it's high definition and it's all recorded and we have 2 terabytes. Like it's amazing. Like it's just this giant, like what price do you put on your family? At the end of the day, you hear me talk about these things. Everything that we're bringing comes to the table has to do with what do you work for? Like imagine not being there and knowing that your wife, your husband, your mom, your dad, your sister, somebody that they're safe. If we leave our puppy at home, I want to make sure that he's good to go and we can watch him. Now we can talk to him. It's amazing, the system. And Ty and I went into a smart house and we got that technology now. And Ty, you know how cool that house was, but it was smart and efficient as a business. Run your family like a business, and this system allows you to do that, right, Victor?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the sky's the limit, man. I mean, the system that I put into your house is basically ready for you to go automated to start the smart home stuff whenever you're ready. So if it's something that I add, I don't believe in. You always try to go the extra step. And it's just important for me to give everybody as many options as I possibly can. So if you decide that you want to be able to turn your lights on and off, or whatever the case may be, it's ready. All I got to do is get the devices installed and programmed, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, and thank you, Ty and Chris. Thank you. I mean, you guys take care of me, man. With my electric, you got me security system. Like, I don't know anybody like that. Like, now I do through you guys. So thank you, Ty. You know what I mean? And Chris, man, thank you guys, for taking care of my family.
Dude, it all gets into what we were talking about last week, Shane. The importance of maintaining good relationships with business partners, with your contractors, with the people that you do business with. It's always good to have a guy for everything. And once you have a guy, that guy usually has a guy, and that guy usually has a guy, and before you know it, man, you got everything covered.
You guys have a virtual home show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
See how many other companies have that next year, man. We'll be looking out for that.
I got an email from CBS 27 talking about doing a virtual home show in Harrisburg this year, that they're giving people 15-minute slots on their Facebook page to do a virtual home show. Yeah.
I wonder where they got that idea.
That's what I'm thinking, the Harrisburg show. And obviously, that's why they got my email.
Yeah.
From the Harrisburg show. But anyhow, Vic, what all areas do you service?
Well, all of the York, PA area, all of Harrisburg, all of Lancaster County, anywhere in Lancaster, Adams County, will go as far as Chambersburg. Again, working with WSS, they do a lot of national accounts, so I do a lot of work for them. I was in Pottstown today, so really wherever I need to go, I'll go. I try to keep it within the 2-hour radius. Sometimes, I got to do what I got to do. But yeah, pretty much our entire area. We just finished a job in Selinsgrove. So, 2 hours away, the entire central area of the state, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. So what were you doing today? Just like, were you doing a full install or what were you doing today?
I actually ran to Pottstown to do a service call at an auto parts store. They had a camera out. It was in one of their bays, and that's important to them because it's mainly for safety when their techs that are out there working on the cars. It was pretty simple. It was cut and dry. I knew, kind of figured out what was wrong in a little bit of time, but that was pretty much it for today. I mean, it's been, with everything going on, it's been a little bit slow. But thank God, man. Like I said, I've been busy enough to stay above water, and thank God, man, that I'm just able to sit here and say that my company's still up and running.
Right on, man.
For that too, man.
So you'll service other people's work, I guess. Like, so let's say someone like Shane already has a system put in their house, but they're having issues with it, whether it be someone that installed it. Will you go and service that?
If that would depend. It depends on, with a lot of residential work, what will happen is, you'll get tied into a monitoring contract, and most of the time, whoever that is, whether it's the big guys, ADT, or a local company, it's pretty much their responsibility to take care of the system.
Yeah.
But again, in Shane's situation, his contract ran out. So, he approached me, we talked, this is what we need. As far as service goes, as long as no one, I'm not stepping on any toes, and the customer wants me in there, I'm going to go, but mainly what I do is right now, it's probably 95% commercial, which I love. I love doing residential too. I just like being, around people, man, being in their home, seeing, trying to give them what they need.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're building on right now. We're trying to get our residential customers up and running, locally. I'm going to try to start giving some things back, which, I think we'll get into here in a little bit as far as the emergency response stuff goes, and the PERS and that good stuff. So
yeah. Do you offer financing there?
I do not, but not as of yet. I think we're just a little too young to be doing that yet.
Okay.
But what we do is, if it's a residential system, if you want a system installed, you want to connect it to the central station that we use. What I do is I can try to tie it into the monthly, everybody has the monthly contract, the monthly bill for the monitoring. But what I can do is also add that price of the installation in on that monthly contract.
Okay.
A lot of people shy away from that now. You can see it on TV every day, man. Simply Safes and all the other people, they don't have a contract. But what comes with that contract for us is free service, no matter how long that contract's for. I don't charge for service on the system I install if it's being monitored by the company that we use.
Okay.
So if anything goes wrong, they call me from there.
Gotcha. Are you on like a 24-hour call if there's a situation? Can someone get a hold of you and you go out in the middle of the night?
I used to do that when I was working for another company, and eventually we're going to have to do that. The more accounts that we get, the more customers we get, especially if we get into fire alarm systems. It's important that we be on call 24/7, especially for fire alarm, because by code we have to respond within 24 hours on site. So as of right now, I mean, if you want to contact me at any time, my phone's always on. I'm used to that. I've been on call my entire career. So eventually we will get to that point, though.
I understand that, buddy. Do that.
I heard you mention that you do commercial and residential. What are some of the challenges in both of them? Like what's the difference between the commercial and the residential? Is there different codes that you have to know? Is there different systems themselves? Are they all the same? Or maybe commercial may be larger? What's the difference in that?
Well, the main difference with commercial and residential is what you just said, is the size. For one. Commercial tends to be, we'll use a fire alarm, for example, a lot more devices than I would put in a house. A house would maybe a couple smoke detectors, a carbon monoxide detector in the garage, maybe a heat sensor, and we're done. I just finished a job in Selinsgrove for a very large home improvement national company, and I think we put in almost 170 horn strobes in the ceiling alone. Yeah, it can get real big real quick. Because you got to protect the sprinkler system that's in the building. That needs to be protected. Residential can be real tricky, especially if you get into an older house. I try to stay away from running wire in walls. So I tend to go more wireless, whether it's Wi-Fi, even with the Z-Wave, which hopefully we're going to get into here with the automated stuff. Because I don't like busting in the walls much, especially in an older home. Mm-hmm. So that gets a little tricky, and that comes with a lot of experience learning how to fix those walls and do those things. My preference would be being able to walk on a new job, which I've done. I did brand new buildings from the ground up, and go in, run the wire, put everything in, walk out, and know when that system's going to work. But the codes are definitely much different in commercial than residential. Absolutely.
Yeah. What kind of training do you put your guys through? Because I know you have some employees too, right?
Yeah, I actually have my right now I have my stepson Matt working with me.
Okay.
But right now we're just working with a skeleton crew. Okay. But he gets a lot of on-the-job training because he's like me. I got to learn. I got to see it. I got to be in it. That's the way I was taught. Here it is. This is the way it's done. This is the way you need to do it. But over the years, I get into watching videos, training, through Honeywell, all the major companies, just to be able to keep up on the products they're putting out because all their programs are all different. Basically the devices are all the same, but the actual panel itself is different. So eventually I'm going to get him more involved into, actual training and certification. But for right now, he's just a lot of hands-on, and I'll tell you, he's doing really well with it, man. I mean, he's been helping me since day one. He knew nothing about any of this before we started, and I can trust him to do a lot of things for me now, and not have to worry about it. So
that's awesome, man. That's a good feeling to have. Be able to trust next to you. You don't have to, every 5 minutes go over and make sure that he's doing what he's supposed to do, or go back and check all the work to make sure it's right. That's a good feeling to have confidence in the people underneath you, man. I know I can speak highly on that. I can speak highly on having good guys is key, man. It's key. Oh, you drive yourself nuts with work if you don't, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I've been kind of waiting here, man. I want to get into this juicy stuff. Tell me about this. The emergency. I have it written down. Emergency. What's it called?
Personal emergency response unit.
Yes, personal emergency response unit. Please tell me and all of our people on here about this thing, because this thing is awesome.
So this technology's been around for a pretty long time. People have probably seen it. The commercial of the woman, I've fallen and I can't get up. She has a little button she can push and somebody responds to her. That's where it all started, but it has bloomed and blown up so big right now. It's amazing what you can do with this. It's mainly geared towards, the elderly. If you have elderly parents, they're alone. I think Shane was hitting on it a little earlier. You can give them this button. You can get it on a wrist. You can put it on a phone. It has GPS tracking if that's what you want. Also, if they leave the house, it's on their phone. You know where they are. Basically, if something was to happen, a fall, whatever the case may be, they can push this button. They can talk to somebody in the house through a central station who they're highly trained to deal with this kind of thing. That person makes a decision on whether or not it's a serious emergency where 911 needs to respond or just a family member needs to respond. So basically that's it. But the cool thing about it is that you can take these emergency alerts and tie them into the entire alarm system. You could put a camera in a living room or a bedroom. If that button's pushed, that camera comes up in central station. Not only can they talk to them, the person behind at the monitoring can actually see what's happening. So it's amazing. It's jump leaps. It's amazing what it can do.
Yeah. That's clutch, man. That's super key. I don't know what the statistics are, but I'd imagine there's a good amount of people out there that go through those situations. If you have a family member that has trouble getting around or has Alzheimer's or any of that kind of stuff, man, that just that peace of mind knowing that someone is watching and someone's available. That's got to be key. I personally don't have to deal with that, thankfully. But I can only imagine not knowing that not knowing feeling would probably be pretty brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. So, on that note, that's something that we're going to start pushing a lot more. And in a way we can give back to the community also. I have an elderly father. It's just our way of giving back would be, if somebody cannot afford it, we're going to give it to them. I'll foot the bill for the monitoring if I have to. If it's that serious that they need it, the family's really in need of it, that's what we'll do. It's more important for me because, like I said, my dad's going to be 85 years old this year. And, just knowing that he's okay and everybody feels the same way about their parents. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a parent. It could be, someone else that has whatever medical issue may be, at least it gives them peace of mind to know that person's okay. I mean, you can take the phone, you can take the camera, put it on the phone and check in on any time you want to, So with that said, I think that's one of the biggest ways we're going to try to get back to the community. If anyone is interested, please reach out to me and we'll take it from there, man.
Yeah, if there's anyone out there in the chat right now that doesn't know how to reach Victor, we're going to put his contact info at the end. You can reach out to myself, to Ty, to Shane. We can get you in contact with him. All of us have his contact information. If for some reason you don't see the contact info at the end, I tagged him in my video that I shared, him and his company. So that's pretty clutch. I mean, he's basically saying he's willing to make sure that if someone needs it, that they're not going to go uncovered. Big step, man. That's a big step for a not super established company. I mean, you're still kind of young yet. You know what I mean? To be able to offer something like that, that's really awesome. It just goes to show the kind of person that you are, man. All the stuff that we were preaching at the beginning of this show, and the stuff that you were preaching about why you wanted, what motivates you, helping people, that just all goes hand in hand. I heard you mention about, the getting it in everyone's hands. Like, is this something that is, if someone has, Medicaid or Medicare, is this something that's insurance will help with bills for this if it's something that's needed?
I believe they will cover. There are certain things they will cover, certain things they won't. I know that Shane could probably answer this, help out on this a little bit too. But
anyways,
there's plans that pay for the whole the system and the monthly monitoring, and it was just making sure that they know that you're a vendor that can do it, because we have plans that pay for that, specific plans for people that are on Medicare or Medicaid. And you can contact us if you have those two, and we can let you know, and then just put it full circle, and make sure they know that you're a vendor that you can provide that in your local, and that'd be awesome.
So here's something real key here, guys. If you're sitting out there in the crowd right now, and you know someone that could use this system, you've looked into it, and you know that your insurance doesn't cover it, hit Shane up. He can get you some insurance that will get you guys covered. Hit Victor up. We'll get you a system installed. That's business helping business right there, man. That's everything that we preach every day.
Yep.
Local business helping local business. It takes a village to do all this stuff that we preach. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that is what we preach every day, multiple times a day. Vic and I had, a discussion about this personal emergency response unit a while back, and the first thing he said to me is that he would be able to give these things away to people in need. I know that's one of his dreams and aspirations, that when and hopefully when he does corner the market with these things, he'll be able to help a lot of people out with these things, and they are a great idea. there were so many things. Like I know when systems like this first came out before, they were so complicated. I think you wore one around your neck, but if you fell and knocked yourself out, that didn't help the fact that you were wearing it around your neck. And you and Chris may have discussed this already, but what's so different about this emergency response than
Well,
the old school ones?
they have a fall protection sensor now. That if you do fall, and that's a great point you brought up. That if you do fall and you become unconscious, this unit's kind of like a vibrating sensor. It's all the best way I can explain it in layman's terms. If you fall and that thing vibrates enough and it's not feeling movement from you within a certain amount of time, a very quick certain amount of time, it's going to send the signal that there's a problem.
Good. That's all.
Yeah.
It's very awesome, man.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of push the camera thing with it, because if that does happen to you, even though the person can talk to you, if you're unconscious, there's nothing happening. You know, at least if you throw a Wi-Fi camera in, which they're fairly inexpensive, that person can look in, they can see there's no movement or you're laying there, whatever the case may be. It cuts down the response time for 911 to show up.
Right. Now, who would need something like this?
I think anyone that is prone to falling, the elderly, anyone that's having issues that are not, they can't get out of the house a lot. The big thing is the fall protection. That's huge because, like I said, if you fall, you're not getting to a phone, you're not getting to your cell phone, you're not going to get to anything. So I think that's the most important people that I'm looking at, people that are prone to falling, because that could cause some major issues, man. I mean, if you go out for a while, who knows? Scare tactic. It's a fact. It's reality.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is you can't think about falling when you fall. Like, I work with seniors, right? So when they fall, they're breaking hips and backs and tailbones and elbows and shoulders and getting knocked unconscious. So it's if you fall when you're older, your bones are a lot more brittle. And so, it's different than if we fall, we get hurt and we might need stitches, but we can usually get back up. It would take a lot more. But when you're elderly, it one hit. One fall, it doesn't even seem like much. Like, I've had clients fall from just, getting the spider webs out of something, and they fell backwards, and they couldn't get up, man. And their pain was so excruciating, they couldn't even talk. It was crazy. I hear that all the time. So, and a lot of people are in wheelchairs or walkers, and they trip and fall and get hurt, and they just don't have it, and they don't have even a phone close to them. Right, so it's not like they have a way to call anyway, right? So these are the things I see on a regular basis, and this is like a no-brainer thing. What he's talking about, and what I just want to say is, I just happen to see these systems all the time because I work with seniors and people that are disabled or on Medicaid and Medicare. And, they're grateful for these systems. Otherwise, they save people's lives. At the end of the day, they save lives. And that's as real as I can tell you.
Yeah. So what comes to my mind when you talk about these things is like, let's say my parents were a little bit older. And I know that they were having issues getting around, or they just don't want to go into a rest home or whatever. I think it would give the kids some peace of mind, like if they could monitor the cameras or be attached to, the personal emergency response, because that is when you guys were talking, that's what was going through my mind, it would have probably been pretty cool, when my mom lived here with us for 4 years, and she had cancer, and she was battling with cancer and stuff. If I would have known of a system like this where, I could have had you come and put a camera in. Now, not that Jana wasn't here and hospice didn't come in and stuff like that, but, it would have gave me some sense of peace of mine, knowing that I could keep an eye on my mom even though I had to work all day long. That I
Right.
knew she was being taken care of, and if she fell, the little buzzer thing would go off. You know what I mean? Because a lot of headstrong. You know what I mean? We were fortunate enough that she had moved up here, to stay with us, to let us take care of her, because she was headstrong. She lived by herself. Her and my dad were separated. Um, but, we talked her into coming up here so Janet could keep an eye on her, and that was one of the reasons. But, if we would have known about a system like this back then, that would have been a good option for us. And not just for that, but, there's a lot of elderly people out there, and there's concerned children, and their kids are concerned. So I think this is a great idea, not just for that, but I'm sure there's dozens, hundreds of other reasons why this system will come in handy. So I think it's really cool.
And honestly, I mean, it even goes a little further than the elderly. It's with what Tina just went through, with the heart issue she's having, she was a fall risk. So if she's here by herself, if that continued for her to be a fall risk, that's definitely something that's going to go into the house. So if I'm not working, especially where I go, man, if I'm 2-3 hours away, I mean, luckily we still have one of the owners here, but it could be for anybody, any situation, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this kind of leads me into the next thing here. You have a Z-Wave system. That's the name of your smart home stuff that you do?
Well, the technology is called Z-Wave. And basically what it is I'll try to keep it as simple as I can and as quick as I can. It's a frequency that falls somewhere between Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Okay? And what it does is it piggybacks off of a device in the house. I think Shane has a real good picture up right now that shows you. It's pretty much on its own frequency. So you can pretty much put any lights in the house. You can do your blinds. You can do, a thermostat. You put a hub in, basically like a control panel. That control panel sends the signal out, and that's basically how it works. It's a controlled frequency that Z-Wave designed years ago, and it's constantly just, like I said, every 6 months there's something new coming out. They're upgrading certain things, and I think it's great because it's not sharing Wi-Fi. It's nowhere in that frequency. It can't be interfered with. So it's pretty foolproof at this point.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. But what with that said, on the every 6 months thing in technology, man, what kind of training do you have to go through to make sure that you're staying up to date with all this stuff? I mean, and what kind of confidence can you put in your customers? Like, how do I know that if I'm going to go out and spend all this money on putting one of these systems in, that I'm not just going to be obsolete in a year and have to replace everything? Like, what kind of peace of mind do you have on that?
Well, it's not really the device itself that you would have to replace. It's mainly in firmware, in programming. That's stuff that I need to keep up on. A lot of times I get on my phone if I have some downtime, and I'll just get on. Any system I'm using, I'll get on their site and I'll check for updates. One of the distributors I use is ADI. They send me updates on any new stuff that's coming out, anything that's being changed, anything that's being, well, you need a firm upgrade for this, or you need a firmware upgrade for that, or a software update. So it's kind of my responsibility to keep up on that. But as far as putting a device in your house, that doesn't really become obsolete. It's basically the Z-Wave technology itself that's changing. It's becoming stronger. They're finding other ways to keep it even more safe from being hacked, which it's almost impossible to do. It's actually impossible to do. So, that kind of falls on my shoulders. And I constantly try to stay up on it, man, because one thing I don't want to do is look like a dummy in front of anybody. I've been doing this a long time, man, and that's one thing I gotta know what I'm doing. I'm not going to say I do unless I do. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, man. That's good. So what all kinds of devices can you hook up to these things, man? Like anything electronic, anything that plugs into the wall and runs off electric?
Yeah, you could actually you can use locks on your door. You can put a thermostat in. You can take they have a little unit you can plug into an outlet that you can plug your lamps into. Your shades, they have, little combination kits that you can take, roll up shades. You can turn them into automatic. They have water flow switches. Like if your basement's prone to flooding, you're on vacation. We can install a unit around your hot water heater, whatever the case may be. That's going to alert you that there's water in your basement. So you're not waiting a week to come home to a mess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really endless what you can do with it. Especially like with the door locks. I think they're pretty popular right now. The light controls are really popular. So it's really no end. And you can tie your garage door open with into this thing. If somebody needs to get into the house and lost their keys, you're not home, you can go right on your phone. You can open the garage door if you need to.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's really cool. So the emergency response unit, does that tie into any of the smart home stuff?
Well, it won't. I don't really necessarily think it would have to. We try to keep those standalone just for the reason that it's life safety. And like I said, it can tie into the cameras. I strongly suggest that that you do that. You have the audio and the visual. Besides that, I mean, it's pretty much we'll try to leave that thing alone because that's pretty much what it needs to do. Is just alert someone when someone's in trouble.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's a good point. I like how you said that, Vic, that you don't tie anything else into it because it has its one purpose and its one purpose only.
Right.
So it's interfered with. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the typical process of getting one of these systems installed? Any of this Z-Wave technology, is it a pretty easy process? Is this something that is going to take multiple days, or are you going to be in and out of there in a day?
I think it depends. It depends on the application, the size of the house. Every application is different, Everyone's house is different. So once I get eyes on exactly what the person's looking for, and they don't know what they're looking for, if I can get into the house, kind of feel around and see exactly how big the house is, how many devices. Obviously, the more devices, the longer it's going to take. The bigger the house, the longer it's going to take. On the most part, I'd say on an average, a good sized home may take 2 days, 3 days tops. Because we want to test everything in and make sure it's working, obviously. And we like to do that over a day, over a night. I don't like coming in and just running a test in an hour or two and going, okay, you're done, bye. I like to give it overnight because these things sometimes happen. So on an average, it's not messy. It's not, we're not destroying walls or anything like that. But sometimes, like I said, depending on the size of the home, obviously the bigger, the longer it's going to take.
Yeah, for sure. What's some of the more popular stuff that you guys install, man? Is there like a go-to that every house you go in, you're going to recommend that you get this? Is there something that certain age groups are leaning towards that you notice? Maybe millennials like certain things, and some of the older people like other things.
Well, not really. I think what we're offering right now, I'm going to use Shane again because we just did his house. We tied in an alarm system along with the cameras, and we gave him the foundation that when he's ready to go automated, he's ready. We're pretty much sticking with Honeywell right now because that seems to be the top-notch stuff for us. The failure rate, it never fails. I don't have any issues out of it, which is great. I'm not getting a lot of callbacks. So that's kind of where we're sticking right now. It's affordable. It's easy for me to install. It's definitely friendly user. It's friendly as far as you being able to operate it. Just, you don't need a degree in engineering to be able to do it. So that's kind of where we are right now with the Honeywell, the Tuxedo Touchpad, which is up right now. It's a great system, man.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I mean, and so here's another thing that's kind of falling back on some of the security stuff that you do. Is there any kind of like benefit to insurance payments or any of that kind of stuff if you have any of these systems installed in your house? Can you save money on home insurance?
Oh, absolutely. You'll get discounts. Yeah, if you call your homeowner's insurance company, you'll get that discount on having a security system installed. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Note that, guys out there listening. That's a good way to say. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure over time it'll pay for itself. It's like a solar system. Over time it'll pay for itself.
That was a good question. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got 4 kids, our businesses, public figure, and I'm just like, yeah, what price would you put on just feeling secure when you go home, right? Like, this is my castle, and so's anyone's business. It provides you everything, but it's a simple price for peace of mind. At the end of the day, like, it's the system's done. I asked my wife to download the app for me. She did. I was like, can I see the cameras? I was like, boom, boom, boom. I can pull them all up like I like to, right? I don't know how many cameras people get. We have 5, I don't know, but I'm going to see everything on camera. And the cameras are high def, affordable. Our monthly monitoring went down from 68 to 25. And at the end of the day, like, what is your paycheck for? Like, listen, this system is less than you getting your Starbucks, like 3 Starbucks a month. I'm serious. Listen, I used to not be security, and then I watched enough stuff, and I was like, you know what? When I'm working all day, I want to make sure that they're safe, and when I go to sleep, I want to go to sleep, and I don't want to worry. And this thing's got an alarm that sounds like you think that 3 Mile Island's going off, man. Like, so, it's just awesome. And why not do, I don't know anything about security, so why not go with the experts, and why not do small business? More now than ever, your zip code and your part of the country, you should be supporting businesses there and get to know them. Wherever you live, you should. We need you to. And the service you all give is amazing. At the end of the day, the service you get is what you get. And that's what I want to tell people. Like, there's no shortcut to getting great service. Like, you don't have to worry. These are your neighbors, your friends. These guys are all my friends. I'm blessed. So, that's all I would do. My recommendation is we got the system, man. He protects our family.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I know Vic did a great job down at our shop. He came in and strategically knew where to put the cameras and stuff, and suggested, made recommendations on where we should put the cameras, and then the security system. He put in keyless garage door openers, which I thought was pretty nifty. I got a little fob on my keychain where I just kind of walk by it and swipe in front of it, and the garage doors will go up. He's going to be doing some more work down at the bottom shop, and I think we're waiting on some parts and pieces for our house here. I know right now we use Comcast right now, but I'm not real satisfied or happy with the service that we have with them right now. Plus, it's so expensive and really don't get anything. I think the most expense from it is renting the equipment. So that leads me to a question for you, Vic. So when you install a system, like say when you did for Shane, is Shane renting that equipment, or did he purchase the equipment?
No, that's his equipment.
Okay.
I'm so confident that we provide a very good service, that if you decide after the amount of time, however long that contract's for, that you want to go with another company, you can turn the system over to them. I'll factory reset the system so they can get in and do their own programming.
Wow.
It's your system. You own it. After your contract's up and you're not satisfied with our service, by all means, you want to bring somebody else in, I'll reset all the passwords and they can program it and do whatever they need to do.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah, man. That's someone that stands behind their product right there, man. He's so confident that he believes that no one's ever going to make that phone call. Just because he stands behind his product. And if you offer great service, you're not going to give anyone a reason to want to leave.
Yeah.
No, and that's the whole thing, and that's why I offer free service. There's a lot of companies out there that don't do that. They'll charge you to come out and do a service call, even though they're under contract with you. For the length of the contract, it's free service calls. And my response time, if it's local, will probably be next day or the day after. It will be no longer than 2 days.
Wow. See, that's good. That's good service there. So you run your butt off. I've seen you. You're always on the road. Butt off. Well, that's kind of cool because I heard Shane say that he saved what, like 60%. It went from what was it, 60 some dollars to 20 some dollars. That's virtually over 50% savings right there by just switching to your product. I mean, that alone, and he's not renting the equipment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I'm dealing with here at the house is that there's a monthly fee, for whatever that is. I'm not exactly sure what that's for. Then on top of it, I'm renting the equipment, which I don't know, man. It for what we have here, it's just not, and Comcast is so expensive, as far as the internet and the cable and stuff like that. Well, throw a camera and a couple keypads in the mix. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so you provide a good service, you should provide a good product, and you're providing savings for people, especially at a time where people are probably trying to tighten things up a little bit. Don't necessarily want to get rid of things, but need to tighten things up. I know at least for us, I mean, it's definitely made us dissect some things, tighten our belt a little bit, you know what I mean? And that's one of those aspects too, where it from every dollar a day that you can save, you save $1 on your med ed bill, you save $1 on your Columbia gas bill, you save $20, a month on your security system. I mean, by the end of the month, you're going to save yourself 150, 200, 300 bucks if you really take a look around your house and see what you can cut back on and those kinds of things. I know we did that anyhow, especially a couple of months ago, we started tightening things up. And then that's kind of how I've been looking at this whole situation we've been in right now has been, an eye opener, where I've gotten a little complacent. It's helped me regain some constant vigilance. And really that's what it's like. Honestly, I don't think much has changed. Would you agree with me, Chris?
Yeah.
As far as the workload and stuff goes, I mean, it did there for a minute because of the uncertainty. But I really think we've been preparing for this. You know what I mean? Or the whole time. We've been very blessed along with Vic and Shane and the other people that we have in our circle, have been blessed, and we've all been helping each other out, from the Inches to the Brewers to the Neidlinger group. Everyone that we do work for, we kind of have this, I don't want to call it a clique, but we all use each other. Like, Jeff throws us some bones, and tomorrow we're going to use Jeff Inch's roll-off dumpster services. We just used his on, I think Tuesday. We had a slate tear off on Tuesday this week. I could be wrong. It might have been last week, but I can't remember what days we're running together. But you know what I mean? Like, but we're using each other's services, and when we decided to start bringing people onto the show, I'm sorry, something up on my screen there was from Verizon there. I just read it real quick. Sorry about that. When we discussed about bringing people onto the show, the first thing that I thought of is we need to bring local small businesses on the show and start supporting each other. And we started with the companies that use us, and we use them. You know what I mean? The true meaning of using local, having each other's back, looking out for each other. You know, and we were saying this a while back, it takes a village. It really does. If that meant anything, right now is the time that means something. You know what I'm saying? It was so easy to say that before, but not really seriously know the meaning of it.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know what the meaning of that means now, it takes a village. I mean, literally.
You're not in a village if you don't understand that.
Yeah, man. You know, you played a big part in my life. And Jim Henke, last week, we had him on the show. And again, he was another one that followed us when we went on the home show tour.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jim has been a big supporter of us. Vic, you've been a big supporter of us. We've been a supporter of Jim and Vic, and I got some other, you know, people in mind that we can bring on the show too that we use. You know, Chris Markey at To the T Outfitters. He's a close friend of mine that, you know, has looked out for me, and I try to look out for him. And there's several other small business owners out there, and but I just, you know, wanted you to know that I really appreciate your services, your hard work, your dedication. You have you know what I mean? In case you didn't know that, you ever feel down on yourself, because I know you're like I am, and like Shane, we are our worst critics. Me and Chris had a little discussion about that earlier today. I know you're like that, but that's what drives us. You know what I'm saying? That we know we can do better. Even though we're topping out at 110%, we still think and know that we can do better.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
I'm sure we can all agree that there's nothing that anyone out there is going to say about any one of us that we don't already know about ourselves.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's serious, man. That's serious.
Yep.
You know, when you care about what you do and you know you put the amount of effort into what you do, man, you realize your flaws, you realize things that you can improve on. You know, and if you don't, then you're doing it wrong. You know, you should be constantly looking to improve. Never be complacent. Never settle and say this is good enough. You know what I mean? I'm here. This is good enough. You know, we brought Brewer on here 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks was. You know, one of the most interesting questions that I asked him was, you know, once you get to the point that you're established, because I mean, let's face it, man, he owns a very lucrative business. If a man wanted to go to an island somewhere with his kids and not ever speak to anyone again, he can do that.
Yeah.
He gets up and he not only goes to work every day, but you know, he brings passion and you know, he inspires people. And you know, how do you maintain that level after you don't need to get up and go to work for food anymore? You know, you know you're going to have food on your plate the rest of your life. You know your kids are going to be taken care of. How do you stay hungry on that? You know, and the answer to that is because you're your own biggest critic and because you don't want to let people down, because you care. You know, that's what it comes down to, man. And we have a lot of people that have those traits in our circle, man. You know,
Yeah.
all those people that you mentioned. That's one of the things that we all have in common, man. It's you know, you care about people and you care about what you're doing every day. You know, you get up and you put your best foot forward and you actually care.
Absolutely. Hey, Bob said if phone number, he needs a system to put in his house.
All right, cool.
Alfred.
Yeah.
Yep.
We definitely hook them up.
Yeah, man. Hook him up.
Yep.
Cool. Cool deal. Well, I think tonight's show was a blast, and
For sure, man. Lots of good information.
yeah, a lot of good information, Vic. You definitely shared a lot of good information with us, and hopefully, you know, we'll get the word out about Victory Security Systems, and you know, and you know, turn it into a household name. You know, I can see your little emblem out by the driveway next to the little shrub out there. You know how you see the ADT little thing?
Yeah. Oh, it's coming. Shane's about to have a couple of them in his yard real soon.
Little sticker stuck on the door before you go to break in it. You're gonna see they got Victory Security System. We better not bust in this house.
Well, we can see your license plate when you're driving down the road. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, these cameras, amazing. You know, and my brother, like I told Vic, you know, I did a lot of different work to figure out what I wasn't good at, which was most everything. But I did security systems and fiber optic in prisons, and my brother would always tell me about the quality of the PTZs or the quality of the cameras, you know. And so the one of the big things about his system was the quality of the cameras we got. You know, because I watch crime shows, like I'll tell you, right, it'll be 1 or 2 in the morning and I'll be watching 48 Hours or one of these shows, right, like I watch, and you look at the cameras, man, and they look for the clarity of the camera is the biggest thing they look at to be able to identify somebody. So we have high definition cameras and we have 2 terabytes of storage. So believe me, if you walk down my street, I can see if you don't pick up if you let your dog do your thing in my yard, just so you know, my neighbors, I can see you now. So make sure you take the bag and pick it up, because I'll have you. But that's cool in that little space. Like, I had no idea. Yeah, I told you, Vic, we don't know anything, but here's what we need. We want a camera here and a camera here on top of our cameras. And then you just, I'm like, bro, I don't know nothing. You know that. And the wife is the boss. So the less you talk to me, the more you'll be being productive. And he did that, you know, him and Christy, and they just went to work, and they, you know, they figured out where to put everything. And I know it wasn't easy, you know, because they had ladders and corners and up and down, and you know what I mean. And but they did it, and it was efficient. And we run 2 businesses in our house, so it didn't interfere with our businesses. So it was a great experience. And at least get an estimate and see, you know what I mean, and let him do his thing, and he'll come out and he'll tell you what he sees, and he'll let you know. But $25 a month, we were like, cool, you know, like you said, man, you can't compete with Comcast with that, or ADT, or you know, ADT. When she told ADT when we told him about the system. You know, when we paid rental, we didn't even know if they said you bought the system. I didn't even know we had contract. We had a 3-year contract with them. They were hitting us for $68 a month. So what you are doing is you're buying your system either way, just to let people know. I didn't notice. I'm an insurance guy, right? And social media. I didn't notice. You know, they came out. But you're buying your system. But here's the thing that you should do before you do it. Understand the quality of your cameras. If I was, as a homeowner, I don't know anything about this stuff, and this is a dummy-proof system. It's nice. You put in our code. It's easy. You hit a keypad. You got it on the phone. But really, and the mics are cool. Because if we're away, we can talk to our dog or hear them. So that's really nice. The microphones, I didn't even know they had that. And really, there's nothing but great stuff to say about the system. And it's ready to expand into the being a smart system, because, you know, that's pretty cool. So I'm not but to say we're excited.
Yeah.
Boom. All right, so
Yeah, man.
Chris, you want to end it? Ty?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was cutting out real.
Yeah.
I was having trouble hearing. Yeah. Great show. If anyone needs to get a hold of Vic, you can go to his website, victorysecuritysolutions.com. He has a Facebook page. His phone number's up on the screen right now, 717-324-1031. You can get a hold of me, you can get a hold of Ty, you can get a hold of Shane. We all have his contact info. If anyone's got any kind of questions out there for Vic, you know, reach out. I'm sure you're not going to be bugging him with any of these questions. He's got a lot of good stuff to offer everyone. So just check it out, man. You know, a lot of this stuff will end up paying for itself. Gives you can't put a dollar tag on peace of mind. So, Vic, it was great having you on the show, man. I appreciate you always supporting us. You're there every time we go live, man. You're up there, whether it's in the middle of the day, it's at nighttime, it's 4 times a day. We're at home shows. You know, you're present, you're there, you support us, bro. And we're always going to support you, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it, man. You guys have been awesome through all of this, man. And you know, if I can help anybody, anywhere, anytime, you know, I'm here. So, you know, I really appreciate the support you guys have definitely given, man. All of you. It's amazing, man. I really, truly appreciate it.
Exactly. Good people, man. That's why you're here. We trust what you do. You say what you mean. You mean what you say. And you know, you're one of us, and that's why you're on the show. We feel comfortable enough to have you here. You're my friend. You're a hard worker. You fit in great. You're just all around stand-up guy, man. The services that you provide are by far the best in the industry. I've watched you firsthand bust your butt. I've seen you get into crawl spaces that I didn't or would not want to get into. But some figured out how to get those wires through the areas that you did to get stuff hooked up. You just do phenomenal work, man. And I commend you for that. Thank you for always being there for us. And like Chris said, supporting us. You're definitely one of many of our biggest fans, and I appreciate that. And I want you to know that we're your biggest fan as well, man. We're cheering for you back here, man. We're right there. And if you need anything, reach out to me, Shane, Chris. Any of us would do anything for you, man. You're a good dude, and we appreciate it.
That's not PC backer related, man. That's all, man. And any of us, if any got anything going on, man, just pick up the phone and call there for each other.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, guys. Like I said, if you need anything from me, you know where to find me.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
All right, so I can't end it without slinging some roofs and shingles and gutters. So, guys, I appreciate you taking all your time for Victor, and that's amazing. And I love him and do anything for him. Tina, his dad. His dad's awesome. Mm-hmm. Tina's mom. His daughter's getting ready. One of his daughters getting ready to graduate with, like my daughter is. So, and listen, if anybody can come out, there's a certain way you got to come off sleep. But anyone that can come out to their graduation, it's the 20th for my daughter. And when's your daughter's graduation? So everyone come to the barbecue?
We're going to have it on July 11th.
Come on, man. It's going to be good food. Come on out. So, but listen, I've seen you guys doing a lot of roofing. Roofing's been super hot. You guys, can you just tell us a little bit about these HDZs and this lifetime and wind rating system you have on these GAF HDZ shingles, please?
Shingles?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're actually doing a lot of them for the past couple of weeks. I mean, we've always been doing the whole GAF thing, and especially more now than lately. We were using a different shingle manufacturer. We chose to join the GAF family. They seem to offer us a lot of good perks, and it's a really good program. They have what's called CARES. So I can go into this CARES thing. They have a whole portal for TC Backer Construction, and I can go in there and get any webinar they've been hosting webinars for the past 2 months, whether it be for how to sell virtually, tools for safety, and that they just have so many different programs out there for us guys, and other shingle manufacturers weren't providing those types of services for us. And I didn't really know half of this till after we joined the family, but like I got an app called the Weather Hub, so I know when the storm's coming long before just about anyone else does. They have what's called E360. I posted it on Facebook on Sunday, where I can actually go out and snap four pictures of your house. That'll allow me to send it to you, and you can make your house any color. Your house, not a house that looks like your house, but your house that you'll get a 3-dimensional picture of. And Vic and Tina were playing around with it. You can change your shingles, your shutters, your inside corners, your outside corners, your garage door, your trim, siding, shingles. They provide us. I know I got off topic here a little bit, but I've been really impressed. Brad, the district sales guy for GAF manufacturing, every day he called me to see if there was anything I needed. Anything, telling me, updating me, like, hey, they're hosting 3 webinars today. One's on storm training, one's on the new HDZs, one's on digital door knocking. You know what I mean? Like, he just was keeping me up to date and making sure we were okay. So it's not just about the shingles, it's about the customer service.
Amen.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Amen.
And I think that's what half this show is about was customer service. So not, with good companies use other companies. It's called cross branding.
Amen.
Shane talks about it all the time.
Amen. My Nike Apple Watch.
I want you to think of TC Backer Construction. When you think of TC Backer Construction, I want you to think of GAF shingles. You know what I'm saying? And Vic and us guys and we all work together and GAF we joined the GAF family. Obviously GAF is much larger than us, but they're the national, the nation's largest shingle manufacturer. They provide just more perks and things for guys like us, and it's not easy to become a certified GAF contractor. I think that's what discouraged me right away. For the longest time, was that, you can't just pay $500 to get a certificate and then you can call yourself a certified contractor for GAF shingles. It wasn't like that with these guys. Other shingle manufacturers are like that. You can, pay the IKO, Tamco, I believe Certainty Shingles, all of these other companies. These contractors that are running around, they're saying, yeah, I'm IKO certified. Well, anybody can be, dude. You paid the $250 and you got their certificate. Well, GAF's not like that. They actually come out and inspect our roofs. I don't know which ones and I don't know when they're coming, but the minute that I put somebody's roof in for the lifetime certificate, I don't know at that point in time if they're going to reach out to the homeowner. I have no idea when they're coming. So we can't do anything wrong. If we say that we put 3 products of GAF on the roof to allow it to be lifetime, or if I said that we used 4 products of GAF to give it the lifetime plus unlimited win rating, then I better be doing that. Nice. You know what I'm saying? Because we never know when they're coming. So that's the kind of reputable company that they are to hold us accountable to make us a reputable company.
Yeah. And just to check here real quick, in order to get that certificate, then you have to pass inspections on so many jobs. I'm not going to throw the number out as what it is, but it's a decent amount of roofs that you have to install properly and get inspected and certified in order to even be on that list. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if they come out and look at it and something's wrong, that doesn't count towards your installs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
You get it by experience. You can't, like Ty said, you can't buy it. You have to do things right. You have to do them consistently in order to be a certified installer, man. And yeah, it's the bends of their shingles, man. It's their best shingles out.
Absolutely.
Well, we appreciate you guys. We love you all. Victor, Victory Security, TC Backer Construction, Horizon Lawns. Check them out. Look them up. I followed your advice when I got the trees done. I followed your advice. I followed your advice with the security. We had 2 other companies. Victor came in, at the best product with the best price with the best service. At the end of the day, you want to make sure someone's going to come out and service your products. I learned that the hard way. And you want to make sure if their trucks are out there, you want to make sure that they're they're going to be out there to service you because, things break. Like, you should know that. Like, don't get upset, but make sure that there's a company that's going to help you, keep their promise, behind the product. And that's what we love about the products you guys use and the cross branding. This is the day, to be an American is to take those stripes and you plaster them back up on that flag and you support each other. This is serious business. When you spend your dollar that you worked hard for, don't just spend it anymore. If it says not from USA, you should think about that. Because you're living in the USA. And it's up to us, like our forefathers, to raise that flag with pride in everything we do every day. I get goosebumps. That's real to me, man. And that's why I love you guys 100%. And prayers for Tina and prayers for all your businesses that you figure out how to innovate in this day and age because it ain't going back. Believe it. This is a digital age and this is a digital phone book. So we appreciate y'all. And everyone that shares, shout out to you, because what you do when you share is you're allowing yourself to get better quality people to deal with. Because eventually all the businesses we deal with are going to be on video. I'm telling you, I said it a long time ago, years ago. It's how it's going to be. And good for you because you're pushing that envelope. Because that is self-accountable system. It's a self-accountable system when everyone's willing to be on video. Because look, watch me. I'm doing this. Okay, I like you because you love what you do. You got, like, no one needs to tell you someone's passionate. Everyone that watches this is smart enough. You have instinct. You can figure it out. And we're just making it available. So share it. If your friend needs a roof, get at least one estimate from TC Backer. You know, anything from window, siding, gutters. And York County goes, you know, the county's opened up. So, you know, some of you people that are ready to come out, we're way out. We are way out, man. We're taking the flag and we're dragging the freedom. Let freedom ring. But York County comes out on Friday. So be aware and don't be square. Get estimates, go to restaurants, support businesses. It is super important. You know, people ask businesses to support them in fundraisers, right? We always get asked to support people, and we support as many as we can. We don't collect money, we collect memories. But this is now the time to support those businesses that you asked to buy stuff for you, for your fundraisers, to help fund all these different events that we help fund across this county. We're just asking that you share, that you give estimates, that you have us give you a price. You know, these companies, you know, our friends go to your restaurants, they go to your stores, they go to your pools, they go to your picnics, they bring presents and go to your stores to buy presents for their kids. You know, so please share this with pride, put it in groups, and have them out for estimates. At least give them a shot to meet them. So God bless America, and God bless you all for putting the stars back on the flag, because it matters.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good night, guys.